How's it going, everyone? Matt Monaco here, also known as Mono Trader. I'm actually in the middle of the Q&A hour of Small Cap Rockets. Here, let me share my screen. So if you are not in Small Cap Rockets and you're just looking to pick my brain or John Papa's brain, that's the place to be. You can interact with us, ask any question. John Papa's actually in ACY right now, which is crazy. Really good entry. Where do you get in that? 960, and we're currently halted up here at 1103. Great trade. Yeah, someone called the fire department on Papa John here. He's really been on fire today. Anyways, I wanted to go over my March, discuss just what I did right, what I did wrong, ton of mistakes, ton of lessons this month, especially coming off February, which is by far my best month. And this month I kind of pulled back a little bit, and I mean, that's trading. You can't expect to have record month after record month. You can't expect to keep doubling months. That's what I was doing for a long time. November was my first six-figure month. I made like 110,000. I can't remember. I just know it was my first six-figure month. December, I made a little over 200,000, so I doubled it. And then January, I made over 300,000. And then in February, I had a $350,000 week, and I ended the month up like 400, 500,000. Like, I was really exponentially growing my accounts. And then this month, I was still in the aggressive mindset to start off. I really was. And that kind of wasn't the mindset to be in. Coming off that best week ever I had in January, or second week of February, sorry, there was definitely a shift. Following that week, COUV was halted in the OTC market, and a lot of stocks started pulling back severely. Like, I'm talking 50%, no bounces. And it was tough. And they're like, if you were new to the OTC game, it was a difficult time to trade. And that was kind of like the major red flag that there was a shift happening in the market. And the OTC's kind of been choppy. There hasn't been many breakouts since that week. There's been a couple decent runners, a couple good first screen days, but in terms of what it was, nowhere close. So this month, I traded more listed stocks. So there was some transition there, just trying to figure out listed again. I traded listed for a large part of 2020 until OTC started really heating up towards the end of 2020. And then I switched over. But yeah, I was going to go over my months and then talk about crypto a little bit. I've gotten a lot of questions, and it's kind of been my focus. I think there's a lot of opportunity in crypto right now. A lot of good breakouts. And as long as Bitcoin remains bullish, that's the biggest factor for me. I'm going to keep trading crypto, and I've seen some good results. So I'll go over that towards the end of this video. But if I just share my screen real quick, this is my E-Trade. So as you can see, for the month of March, I made 60,492. Decent month. I'm not going to complain. A year ago, March was also my best month at the time at $15,000. So this is my smallest month I've had in like 5 or 6 months. And it is still 4 times bigger than my March a year ago. So putting in perspective, absolutely crazy. One thing I want to talk about is AABB. I will actually pull up a chart for you guys here. That was my biggest trade of the month. AABB, it was on this first green day here. I caught this really big gap up. And this was just one of the leaders. It was Bitcoin related, very strong. And obviously I missed a large part of the move, but I noticed on this day we had a higher low, and I started into it really small, added to it a little bit, and then I swung it over the weekend, and we got like a 40% gap up, and I just sold it in the morning spike. There's huge bidders. That trade alone I made over $35,000 on, so that trade alone was half my month. After that, I got a little aggressive, gave some of that back that week. But the point I want to make here is you never know when that one trade is going to happen. I wasn't expecting a big trade like that. I wasn't trying to swing for a home run. I was expecting a single because I was in the right place at the right time. People could say I got lucky, but I was just positioned well to take advantage of it. And if you keep hitting those singles over and over and over again, eventually you will get a home run type trade, which was my AABB for the month. Following that up, my biggest loser was actually a swing trade, something I was trying to work on, and it was just the timing of it all. I just mistimed the market was swing trading. I watched Jack Kellogg go on a huge run, absolutely crush it with swing trading. But the difference is he was riding the upward momentum of like the OTC bull market. He caught it at the right time. He did it from January to February. And at the end of the day, market's basically timing. It's all timing, patience, waiting for entries, waiting for exits. So I was trying to use this strategy, trying to learn. I was a little oversized. Then the market started shifting. I was new to the strategy. I didn't anticipate the drawdown. So gamer, I want to say I had 500,000 shares from roughly 7 cents. I was building in through this consolidation period because I was thinking, we ramped higher, low, ramped higher, low, tried to ramp higher, low. I was anticipating a run up to, 15 cents. And so I was sizing into the trade. And then we had this day, and this should have been the trigger for me to get out. That was the real entry or exit signal where we had huge volume, we had a spike, and it just totally fell apart on that day. When something tries to break out, has all the factors to break out, and doesn't break out, that is a red flag to just get out. It's like when something has positive news, it spikes for a little bit and then gives back its entire spike and then some. Like if you're long at that point, like it's a very clear sign to get out of that trade. It's actually a really good short signal because clearly either the news was anticipated, someone didn't like the news, they're getting out, whatever the case may be. But as you can see, following this day where it tried to run again and couldn't, we had 4 red days, and I actually sold on this 3rd red day, maybe 4th red day. For my biggest loss, 12 grand, I lost on that trade. So it's a tough one, but it was just a bigger loss. Top of that, my win rate wasn't as good. I'm still working on importing all my trades over into Profitly, but it definitely was a slower month for me in terms of the win rate. And as you can see from my chart, I really went exponential in 2020, in January 2021 and February, and then we got choppy up in here. Took some losses towards the end of the month and into March. We're still on an uptrend, but it's definitely been a choppier ride. Stuff is not running as well. So you just need to adjust for that. So I've really sized down my E-Trade account, locked in a bunch of those profits, and I've moved over into crypto. So here's my crypto account. So this is kind of biased because I funded it a couple times. Basically, each of these spikes, big spikes, was me adding more money to the account. All in all, I put in roughly 120,000 starting March 11th, and right now we're sitting at 215,000. I'll go over a couple of my crypto trades because it's the same process I used in OTC stocks, but it's in crypto and it's working right now in crypto. So I'm just looking for where it's working, where the patterns are working, and I'll just keep, adjusting my plan as we move forward in those. A couple of my big wins, I tweeted about Altcoin. Let's pull up a daily chart on this one. Look at this. I mean, Tim Sykes talks about supernovas. It doesn't get any more textbooks than this. I started buying this actually at 29 over this first breakout level, really small. That's when my account was at like 25,000, and then I funded it a little more over this breakout in the 50s. Clear breakout. $50 is also a key level psychologically. 50, 100, 150, and I sold it all. I thought I was the best seller in the world. I sold it all between like 88 and 92. So I mean, it was basically 100% move, 200% move for my first entry. Now we're at $232. Like absolutely bonkers. $200 a share higher from this breakout. 200, like basically $230 a share higher from my first buys. Huge runs. This is the craziest one. And that's all I'm looking for is breakouts. And that's probably why I didn't hold the whole time, like long. I didn't care what the company did. I'm riding the momentum. I'm buying the breakouts. And I just scanned for these, looking at this top percent gainers. Same exact methods I'm using in the OTC NASDAQ market, applying to the altcoin market. So if I was going absolutely massive, congrats to anyone who's still holding it. Huge runner. Another one is Storj, STORJ. And similar story. This one got uplisted to Coinbase pretty recently. Let's actually look at like an hour chart because can I zoom out? Yeah. And I bought the breakout. I bought the breakout actually here. So it was trading for like 24 hours on Coinbase. Coinbase is the main broker I use for US citizens. It's the only one that's really regulated. It's really the only option you've got. So I worked with what I got, and storage was on there, and it started breaking over these highs, and I bought into the 160s, and I sold most up into the 280s. I actually got a couple off around 350 on this first spike here, and now we're ramping back up and breaking out again. So I'm watching this closely. I actually bought some over this $3 level earlier today, and I'm just same pattern, like simple basic support and resistance. I'm risking these lows down here, the roughly 250s. If it breaks below that, I don't think the breakout's going to work. And we're ramping up, and I'm just going to try to let it run as far as it can possibly run. I think this one is roughly related. I've started doing some more research to Filecoin. It's the same type of industry, and just with Filecoin going pure supernova, absolute madness, I'm watching STORG. Now, the main thing I do want to talk about is Bitcoin has to be bullish. So if I pull up just this chart of Bitcoin, the reason I'm in storage and some of these others is big picture. I think Bitcoin is still bullish. It's right underneath all-time highs. If it gets rejected over this weekend, I'll exit my positions very quickly, because these altcoins, it's like the SPY with the overall market. When the SPY pulls, everything pulls. When Bitcoin pulls, these altcoins always get crushed. So I just need Bitcoin to either remain flat, right under highs, or break to new highs. And I think a lot of these altcoins breakouts will continue to run. So that's my approach. I'm just following what works. I'm not marrying a strategy. I'm always looking to learn. If shorting becomes a more profitable strategy, like that's where I'll be in the stock market. That's the key. That's what I've learned on just my 1.6 million in stock profits. That's not counting any crypto gains. That's what I've learned, is just keep adapting, keep learning. If you have an open mind, you're willing to learn, you can just accept when stuff's not working and move on, size down. Like that's how people make it in the long run. That's what I'm looking to do, because I'm looking at a long-term picture. I want to be doing this for the next 20, 30, 40 years. I don't want to burn out, blow up in a year or two. So think long-term, find what works, study it, find people that are doing it, learn from them. Again, if you want to pick my mind on any of this stuff, Small Cap Rockets is a place to be. It is right within the Stocks to Trade platform. I will show you one more time here. Just within Stocks to Trade, you can go over the chat tab, and then there is Small Cap Rockets. So I got a couple questions to answer. I got to get caught up with my subscribers. But thank you for watching this video. March was definitely a learning curve. April, I think there's plenty of opportunity out there wherever you might be trading. Stick to good risk management tactics. And let's have a great month, everyone. Cheers.